So apparently the Saints Row reboot is not doing so well. I mean, I should know because I bought it. And after the first hour of playing it, I was like, wow, this would make some great content. But before I do a video on that, I want to cover some ground first by looking at the quadrilogy. Although I'm certain that I don't need to play any of the Saints Row games to know that this is going to be disappointing at best. But hey, I gotta get videos out one way or another. Now, Saints Row 1 was released on August 29th, 2006. It was an Xbox 360 exclusive, but now you can play it on new gen consoles. I never played this game until now, but I do vaguely remember watching somebody else play it during a sleepover back when I was a child. Don't worry, I was already desensitized from Modern Warfare 2's No Russian, Grindhouse, that laser scene from the Resident Evil movie. God, that really fucked me up. But yeah, that's my only memory of Saints Row 1, so I guess we could just hop right into the story. Before the story begins, you get thrown into the player creation. According to the wiki, your character is referred to as Playa, that's spelled P-L-A-Y-A by the way. So the player takes a stroll down the neighborhood for some coochie apparently. Before he can secure the deal, something distracts him. I'm not sure what it was though. I do know that it couldn't have been these gang members because those guys are around the corner. A different gang comes in and a squabble begins. Then another gang pulls up and the squabble has upgraded to a shootout. The player gets caught in a crossfire, but before he gets shot, he's saved by the Saints, and I guess that means we're gangbanging now. But first we have to get canonized, aka getting jumped in. Regardless of your performance, you are officially a member of the 3rd Street Saints. Your first mission as a banger involves you painting some houses, which means you need a gun. So we're off to friendly fire, and oh my god, I wish it was this easy to purchase a firearm. We commandeer a vehicle, and you have to use A and X to accelerate and decelerate. This has to be some sort of war crime. I thought Daytona 2001 gave us the standards of driving controls. After finishing the prologue mission, the Saints have another meeting, which gives us a chance to do a roll call. First we have Dex. He's the type of guy who would rather plan shit out rather than just shoot anybody who isn't wearing purple. Johnny Gat on the other hand is the complete opposite. Anything that has a pulse within a 5-mile radius of this guy will be shot multiple times. Next up we have Troy. Something is off with this guy, he's probably a cop or something.
Lynn? The fuck you wearing blue for?
Lynn comes in from stage right. She punches some guy for disrespecting her, so you can guess what her personality traits are. And last but not least, we have Julius Little, the leader of the Saints. He's voiced by Keith David, and I think he has one of the best one-liners in this game. Now that we have that out of the way, we can now commence the operation Eradicate the Other Gangs. There are 3 of them that you have to deal with: the Canales, the West Side Rollers, and the Vice Kings. You can take them out in any order you like. Hell, you can complete one mission for one gang, then do a mission for a different gang. But for simplicity's sake, we're gonna go through it one gang at a time, starting with the Canales.
Mira, Hector. Hey, I told Luz I'd take her downtown. Can Victor take care of...
Is Victor sitting at the table, Angelo?
Yes.
So if I wanted Victor to handle it, I could have asked him, right?
Luz, we'll go out tomorrow.
But Angelo...
Coño, Luz, cállate la boca, ¿ok? ¿No me oíste?
Gracias.
The Canales were the first gang to set up in Stillwater. They used to be top shit until Benjamin King came along. Although this is a Hispanic crew, they seem to have recruited some gringos, and they're also working with the Colombians. With what exactly? How about I give you a multiple choice? Is it A, cocaine? It's A, cocaine. The hierarchy goes as follows. Hector Lopez is the leader, his younger brother Angelo is the second in command, and Victor is the enforcer. Dex is assigned to take care of the Canales, and when I say Dex is taking care of the Canales, I mean the player is taking care of them. Don't worry, he helps, but I'm the one that's putting in the most work. The first 2 missions are simple: blow up the crack lab and appropriate their shipment. But when we meet up with Dex, an unnamed Saints member tells us that there's a little problem. They try to run up on Angelo, but holy shit, these are some of the most incompetent gang members I've ever seen. We gotta do a play-by-play. So Angelo is using his whip as a cover, and 2 Saints members are using the pincer strategy. I'm not sure what the other Saint is doing back there. He could at least provide some suppressing fire, or just shoot him in a dome from point blank range. It's not like he's hiding behind a tank, it's a lowrider with the top down. At least Snapback Dude has a brain, but unfortunately his homies have the awareness of a deaf bat. They somehow let this nightclub bouncer looking ass dude run up and catch a body. And why the hell are you smiling? You know, I never shot a man in the back, but I'd imagine that I wouldn't be cheesing if I just witnessed a man no-selling a bullet to the kidney. Wait, hold on. Where the hell is the other guy? And why the hell did he just let his homies get clapped up? You know what? Never mind. I guess I have to do everything around here. After doing some busy work, you know, shooting some canales and drifting trucks, we find out that Hector is doing a deal with the Colombians at the docks. And since his guards are equipped with RPGs, we have to use a sniper rifle. Sorry, I think we need to run that back. Ththese niggas are equipped with rocket-propelled grenades. It's not that I'm mad that they have them, I just thought that they were going to be severely disadvantaged because I have the high ground. But these assholes are so accurate that one of the rockets hit me directly. I don't know, I guess it's one way to up the difficulty. So with Hector dead, the next plan is to meet up with the Colombian Connect.
When we get to Manuel, just let me do all the talking, alright? I'd hate for us to fuck things up with the Colombians because you said some crazy shit that pisses him off.
My character has not uttered a single word, so fuck off, and it doesn't even matter because it's a trap. Victor chases us in his Hummer, but gives up when we reach the church. We're pretty much abiding by cops and robbers rules. Until we start the next mission, where the Canales attempt to raid the HQ, unsuccessfully might I add. Then Victor tries his hand at smoking us, but he ends up on fire with multiple bullet holes. His body also teleports to the church. Neat. Great, that's 2 key members down, and now the Colombians are cool with us. I'm sure Angelo's not gonna like this. And look at him, he's so mad that he misses damn near every shot from spitting distance. The only person he hits is one of our Saints Row jobbers. Man, being a bullet sponge is the only thing they're good for. We were able to get Angelo's whereabouts, although it's not like he lives in a bat cave or something. The dude lives in a big ass mansion. And he was dumb enough to hide there, but unfortunately the potato aim that we saw in the last cutscene carried over to this one. So we have to chase him, and when we okay, so that is not supposed to happen. Doesn't matter anyways because Angelo escapes, and before we can find out where he's at, we have to finish some stronghold levels. Strongholds are mini missions that we have to do in order to take over neighborhoods. They're basically filler for the most part. But after you finish them, you're able to complete their last mission for the Canales. Angelo is trying to dip via airplane, so Dex along with the player drive to the airport. I like how the Canales were prepared for an attack, like everybody's carefully positioned on top of buildings toting rocket launchers and rifles. How incompetent is the airport security in this universe? Is the TSA behind this? I feel like the TSA is behind this. Speaking of rockets, I got an unlimited supply of my own, and after 3 shots, Angelo is finally taken care of.
Oh my god!
What are you doing here?
I was supposed to leave with Angelo.
So what's in here? Guns? Money? Some uncut shit? Shoes?
Actually, they're this season's new.
Hey, bullshit, that's last year's fall collection.
That's not true.
Yeah, that's funny. With Angelo being cooked medium rare, the Canales are no more, and now we have 2 gangs left. Let's move on to the Rollers.
Yes, how could we possibly score dime bags without him?
Oh, come on, Uncle Will, he's not that—
What's up, Price?
You scared the shit out of me, Donnie.
I scared the shit out of me.
Donnie, it's always a pleasure when you bring strangers into my house.
Oh, fuck, I forgot. This is...
I'm Lynn.
For the West Side Rollers, we have Lynn going behind enemy lines so he can get some information on them. This is the bulletproof plan that Julius concocted. First, Lynn tells you what the Rollers are up to. I'm not the sharpest bullet in a crayon box, but I'd imagine that it would have something to do with cars. Whatever. Then the player shows up and sabotages whatever they're trying to do. I'm sure this is not going to backfire at all. After gaining the respect of Donnie, Lynn is introduced to the leaders of the Rollers. First there's William Sharp, he's wearing a suit, and there's his nephew, Joseph Price. He's not wearing a suit. I'm sorry, I don't find these guys interesting. They don't trust Lynn at all, despite Donnie trying his best to simp for her. And after a couple more instances of the Rollers having their plans ruined, Sharp is like, I'm pretty sure Lynn has something to do with this, you know, because before she joined us, we were doing pretty well, and now that she's around, that asshole with the braids keeps ambushing us. Also, he thinks we can't see him from the window. He's dressed like a mascot for Lean. He's quite conspicuous. Lynn calls for another scheme, but oh no, it's a trap. See, this is why we have contingency plans for espionage. Cyanide pills, coming up with a code word for they know I'm a spy. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. Okay, either instant transmission is a thing in this universe, or the player has zero peripheral vision. Lynn and the player are tied up and stuffed in the trunk of a car. Sharp tells Donnie what's going on, but he's like, nah man, I'm out of here. So Sharp has to push the car all by himself. Wouldn't it be funny if the car got stuck in between that gooch? I mean, the gap is big enough. Oh yeah, Lynn is dead by the way. The player was able to escape and kill Sharp, and just like Angelo, I'm pretty sure Price is not gonna like this. Spoiler alert, he's pretty mad. But before we have to deal with another attack at the church, Julius and the player take care of the convoy.
Nigga, you should buckle your seatbelt.
That's also funny. After doing some strongholds, we get a hold of Price, who's driving a car hauler for some reason. Oh, that's why. And don't worry, after multiple tries, Price is dead, which means the Rollers are no more. Alright, one more gang left. Let's move on to the Vice Kings.
I'm not happy, Anthony. You said she could handle it.
It's not her fault, Mr. King. The Saints have been fucking with her.
That's what I'm talking about. Are you gonna let these bitches disrespect us?
Everybody calm the fuck down.
The Vice Kings are arguably the most developed gang in Stillwater. They're a little different compared to the others in that they have a legitimate business. They run Kingdom Come Records. Of course, they partake in a legal exchange of goods and services, but their main source of income is a record label. The 4 key members are Tony, Warren, Tanya, and Benjamin King. King goes way back with Julius, so I don't think he's going to be laying in a casket anytime soon. We report to Johnny Gat, who has a girlfriend that's currently signed to Kingdom Come Records. I don't know why in the 9 circles of hell would she do that, but at least it's a way of getting her out. So we do a little bit of domestic terrorism. In one mission we clear out an abandoned police station, and we even get a chance to kill Tanya, but unfortunately we left our hearing aids in the car. At least we escaped, but Johnny is now in need of some saving, and physical therapy. Here's the plan. First we shoot the limo driver, and then we take the limo and drive Tanya around with the front window down so we can hide in plain sight. And then we take her to the condo, knock her out, and then kill Tony. It makes sense. As we continue to foil the plans of the Vice Kings, Benjamin King's associates become restless. And after doing some more acts of domestic terrorism, Tanya and Warren turn the whole gang against him. Luckily, he is a part of the Keith David fan club, so that means we gotta save him. And when we do just that, Warren shows up and we blow up his car. That leaves us with Tanya. Out of all the cutscenes, this has to be my favorite one. She gets lit up, does a flip, hangs onto the edge of the building, and then falls onto a truck. Just magnifique. With all the gangs taken care of, we can pretty much do whatever we want for 2 seconds because Julius gets his dumbass captured. We do a little dirty work for some bald guy, pull up to a yacht, and explode. And that's the end of Saints Row 1. That was very abrupt, but according to the game devs, this wasn't supposed to be the ending. I would love to pad this video out by adding the clip, but I'll just put the link in the description. Now let's do some critiquing. I think the story of Saints Row 1 gets the job done. It gives you enough motivation to keep playing with its tone, pacing, and cast of characters. Each gang that we deal with has their own side plot, which sets them apart from each other. The Canales have Angelo being a dick to his girlfriend, the Vice Kings have Benjamin trying to maintain power amongst his anxious crew, and the Rollers have... Okay, I'll get back to you on that one. I also like how they had moments like Johnny getting kneecapped and Lynn's death to show that the Saints aren't an all-knowing, overpowered gang. Trust me, you'd be surprised how many shows, movies, and video games fail to give their protagonists an L to overcome. The one issue that holds back the story is the respect system. Basically, in order to play a story mission, you need to have your respect bar filled up. 1 bar of respect allows you to play 1 mission or stronghold. The main way to earn respect is by playing activities. There's demolition derby, drug trafficking, escort, hijacking, insurance fraud, mayhem, racing, snatch, hitman, and chop shop. Some of the activities are alright, we'll get to some of them later, but the problem is that they're just a means to an end. You're not playing it because it's fun, you're playing it because you want to finish the story. Yeah, activities reward you with jewelry, vehicles, a pimp cane that doubles as a shotgun. Wait, that is badass. Why didn't I try to get this weapon? But imagine playing through 8 levels of the same shit but more difficult and or tedious. There will be points where you're sitting there playing the same level for over 10 minutes, which is way too long for a side quest. Another issue that I have with the story is that there are no checkpoints, which I kinda understand because this game is supposed to be difficult at certain points. But just because I failed the mission in a stupid way doesn't mean I should have to start all the way from the beginning, especially 50% of it is just driving to a destination. The story gameplay itself is fine, it's a lot more than just go to this location and wipe it out. Tricking racers into blowing their cars up, dressing up as Vice King members and wrecking havoc, escaping a Hummer that's seemingly fitted with a Hellcat engine, etc, etc. As for the activities, like I said, a handful of these are fine, like demolition derby, hijacking, and mayhem, but some of the others have issues. In drug trafficking, you have to rely on the AI to drive you around to key locations. The problem is that they drive pretty fucking slow, which drags out each level. The reward's not really worth it either. No need to worry about reducing gang notoriety if you reduce the rival gang population to 0. The insurance fraud activity requires you to get hit by vehicles for money, but Saints Row 1 has this issue where cars just won't spawn sometimes, but hey, console limitations, am I right? The Chop Shop activity requires you to bring in cars. All I gotta say is the amount of work you have to do isn't worth the discount and the 3 unique vehicles. The Hitman activity, on the other hand, has great rewards but terrible gameplay. Basically, you get a list of targets that you have to take care of with specific weapons. The problem that I, along with the rest of the people who play this activity, had is that this shit will waste so much of your time. And it's because the majority of these targets rely purely on spawning chances, so you'll be driving around town waiting for these assholes to appear. You can only highlight one target. That means if you stumble upon a different target, it won't show up on the map. So you better pray to Allah that you remember what these guys look like and you have the right weapon. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know I'm supposed to look at Saints Row 1 in a vacuum, but I can't really play through this activity knowing that it's 10 times better in future installments. That's why I'm only showing you the only Hitman mission that I completed. And that's all I have to say about the story and the gameplay, so let's get to the conclusion. Is Saints Row 1 a good game? I would say yeah, although it didn't age too well, Volition did a competent job, mainly with the story, but the gameplay ain't too bad either. If you're interested in seeing where the Saints Row series got its start, then I suggest buying this game. I'm sure you can get it for under 15 American bucks. Only on Xbox though, which is a shame because I'm sure the modding community could fix a bunch of issues, and potentially add more longevity to the game. Speaking of PC, Saints Row 2 is available on Microsoft Windows, but we'll tackle the sequel in another video. See you next time. Did I really just do a whole video sitting on the floor with my bed behind me? Yeah.